In the tradition of Malcolm X, peace be unto you. I'm going to rehash an issue that I raised weeks ago concerning reparations. And during that talk, I made the claim that no bill has ever been submitted to a committee in an effort to get reparations for descendants of slaves, and then made it to the floor of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and then to the President, and signed into law. Now, on December 12th, Yvette Carnell did a show, and in that talk, she went into a diatribe and made the claim that a bill for reparations was in fact submitted. The simple fact is that that is untrue. What she referred to was a bill John Conyers submitted, which was a proposal for the Judiciary Committee to set up a committee that could receive a bill that could be debated on the issue of giving reparations to descendants of slaves. John Conyers did not submit a bill for reparations to a committee. He was asking for permission that a committee be set up. And what I'm showing you here is a copy of the 115th Congress First Session H.R. 40, so that you can see the highlighted areas for yourself. Do you see the highlighted area, the Committee on the Judiciary? That's the group that received his proposal, his request to set up a committee. No committee existed to hear a bill for reparations. Now here's another section from what John Conyers submitted. And look at the highlighted area. The clause reads, to establish a commission to study and consider a national apology proposal for reparations for the institution of slavery. So let's reread that. What John Conyers is asking here is that they establish a commission. In other words, no commission existed. There was no committee to receive a bill for reparations. And further, he's asking that, well, I'd like you to study and consider a national apology and proposal for reparations for the institution of slavery. So he's asking that he'd like to submit a proposal for reparations. That's not submitting a bill, that's submitting a proposal to submit a bill for reparations. Now let's look at this last quotation that I have out of his bill, so-called bill that he submitted. Section 1, short title. And I quote, "This act may be cited as the commission to study and develop reparations or reparation proposals for African Americans Act." So let me reread that. Commission to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans Act. So he's asking, well, if we do this, we can use this title. Now, you have to understand, he's asking for permission to do something. He's not really doing it. And this is the kind of paper game that we have to be mindful of, that's played in Congress, and that is oftentimes played on us, because instead of giving us a copy so that we can read it, we're told a bill has been submitted for reparations. The fact is, this is not a bill for reparations per se. This is simply a request to be heard, a proposal. Now, Yvette Carnell usually will put up on her site when she's talking all of the data, all of the statistics that hammer into your head that we are poor, that we have nothing, etc., etc. But don't you find it interesting that she has not put up for you to read this document or the relevant parts of this document so that you can see for yourself that this is not actually a bill for reparations being submitted to a committee that takes it seriously, that's going to debate the issue of reparations, get it to the floor of both the House of Representatives and then send it over to the Senate and then get it to the president so that it can be signed and so that you can get your check in the mail. That's not what this is all about. This is a big carrot that is put on the stick to constituents to make them think that a bill is in process, that reparations is imminent. This is a form of deceit. And Yvette Carnell either knows that or she should have known it. And for that reason, she is negligent. And I say she is negligent because she has a duty. She has a duty to you, her listeners, her subscribers, a duty of due care. She has a responsibility to give you the facts and not to mislead you. She has breached that duty. She has acted irresponsibly with regard to her articulation on this issue of a bill having been submitted in Congress for reparations. It's a lie. And Yvette Carnell, either knew or knows that. So I want you to think on it, and I would like you to ask pertinent questions to her. It is not enough to be a fan of someone who claims to have the knowledge to uplift your consciousness, your awareness of the issues of the day. You must question them. You must exercise reason. You must delete all of the emotive terminology, which she expresses, because she's very emotional. And I don't know if you've picked that up, but her reasoning is not clear. And that is why she leans so heavily on the statistical reports, which are not arguments, they're reports. But she never does a statistical analysis of her own. She cites those reports as though they are authorities, as though they are the only authorities. But here, in this instance, she did not put forth the document because she didn't want you to know that, in fact, no proposal was ever put forth, no bill was ever put forth for reparations to a committee that had a chance to get to the president's desk and be signed. And remember this, it could have been done during the first year of Barack Obama's office in the presidency, because the Democrats controlled both the House and the Senate. And yes, John Conyers did submit this proposal to have a committee formed to debate the issue of reparations, but it didn't happen. And it won't happen. Should it happen? Yes. Do we deserve it? Yes. Do we deserve justice? Yes. But you will not get justice from these people, ever. They did not take all the time, spill all the blood to take so much from us to turn around and give it right back. Let that sink into your mind. And I hope it sinks into Yvette Carnell's mind. She should stop playing this very deceitful game with you. I am Dr. Stephen Nur Ahmed. Peace be unto you.